We gathered here for May Day, for Maharashtra Day, and of course, to remember Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar today. On behalf of the India International Center, the Maharashtra Sanskrit Rananiti Adhyan Samiti, and the Working Group on Alternative Strategies, welcome to the discussion on how do we annihilate caste. We started this series way back in 2010, so this is the 17th edition of that, and it's a series on social justice and empowerment, and we commemorate the life and work of Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. We have a distinguished panel. We have Professor N. Sukumar. He's just going to, the first to open the innings will be Professor N. Sukumar. He has taken the view that Jat Pat Todak Mandal, in that Ambedkar argued that it is the upper caste who have created the problem of caste. Therefore, they should think seriously about how to annihilate it. Then he put some questions which he will be answering. Are the socially dominant communities willing to break social endogamy? Will state institutional mechanisms initiate to bring a law to annihilate caste? What role does civil society play in this exercise? Destroying, reforming the religious actions by the Savarna communities is the need of the hour. Over to you, Professor Kumar.
Thank you so much. How much time? 15 minutes? 15 minutes. Though it is very less to annihilate caste. Anyway, thank you so much for asking me to be part of this August gathering. Well, whose project is to annihilate caste? Is it all 5 Dalits or 6 Dalits who are sitting here, or let us say former untouchables, or even still untouchability which is prevailing? Is it our responsibility to annihilate caste? And who created the caste? And who is responsible for all the atrocities that are being perpetuated every hour in this society? Are the cultural nationalists responsible for this? So my question starts with that. Instead of asking to us, it should ask the other, that when you are going to initiate the idea of annihilating the caste. It's very age-old. I don't need to give the historical genesis of caste system. It starts from the Rigvedic tradition. But someone who designed this caste, black and white, or a oral tradition, or a systematic written documents which we are strictly following in everyday practices. Why do we follow, and why, how it has its own sustenance? Therefore, that is where, the endogamy, what Ambedkar was clearly mentioned, that because of this, the caste is, able to sustain. And how the social norms that has been created by the priestly caste, maintaining through this kind of practices where it's sustained, also through occupational, division. It's, I don't know whether to celebrate today as a Labor Day, where caste is not only division of labor, but division of laborer. Okay, today's significance is that. So therefore, this has been part of the great Indian tradition. We have a very great Indian tradition, that a great cultural values which we try to propagate. And of course, it's a divine origin theory. सबको पता है कौन कहां से जन्म लेता है. शायद इस रूम में किसी को ये नहीं पता होगा that भाई कौन सर से लेता है, कौन छाती से लेता है, कौन यहाँ से लेता है, कौन नीचे से लेता है. Birth is very quite natural, but we believe strongly in a divine origin theory. So in 2017, interestingly, Christoph Jafferler, who wrote a very interesting piece, The Defenders of Varna, and the nationalists whom we evangelize today, whom we call them as the so-called nationalists in contemporary academic discourse. Let me just say something about who are these nationalists, or who defended the Varna openly. Deen Dayal Upadhyay. Now it is imposed into the syllabus of every Indian university. That's where I will bring Dharmadhikari, the Madras High Court Chief Justice, who recently went on propagating to teach Manusmriti, which becomes the source of perpetuating caste hierarchies. Yes, I do teach Manusmriti in my classroom, but I try to deconstruct it. I try to emphasize that how certain texts need to be interrogated and critically engaged. And that is not the project of the contemporary academic discourse. Let me go through what Deen Dayal Upadhyay says. He says that society is self-born and forms an organic unity inherited from a caste-based antiquarian arrangement that should not be disturbed. So what we are doing here, it goes against what Deen Dayal Upadhyay says, integral humanism. We are trying to question, challenge what Deen Dayal Upadhyay's idea. We should not disturb. And he also says further that in our concept of four castes, there are thoughts of as an analogous to the different limbs of Virat Purush. These limbs are not only complementary to one another, but even further, there is individuality, unity, there is a complete identity of interest, identity of belonging. Now, Ambedkar questioned, is there any sense of belonging? Is there any sense of, unity in this society? And let me go through further to Dayanand Saraswati, an Arya Samajist. He says that he maintained that hereditary jatis did not exist in the Vedic times, but children were placed in different varnas according to their qualities. Through such reasoning, he legitimized a hierarchy imbued with anti-individualistic values. Once in a varna, a man and a woman remained in it. You cannot get out from this kind of fold. You are fixed. By birth and by death, the caste is guaranteed. Often and often, every time reimposed, even if there is an attempt to change or reform, even if you are attempted to convert, there are many anti-conversion laws comes into this system. Then, and there is someone called Madan Mohan Malviya. And he says that for him, caste is not functioning assigned to each class is as its jati dharma, were specialized by different families as their kula dharma, and were faithfully and efficiently performed for the well-being of the whole society, which was thus served by the classes and families composing it. As an organism is served by its constituent organs. So it's a complete defense of the Varna system. Another two reformers or gentlemen, not reformers, sorry, the gentlemen who defended on Varna, and then I'll move towards to my proposal that, how it needs to be addressed. K. Munshi, he says that we are blinded by an admiration of the social apparatus of the West, failed to realize that Chaturvarna was a marvelous social synthesis. Such a wonderful invention. We need to feel ashamed about it. Instead of feeling ashamed, we celebrate caste. In my entire 45 years of activist life, first time in Delhi, in the capital of the city, country, I heard Brahmanwad Jindabad. Where we have ahead, where we are heading towards. Are we really able to address the question of caste? Now, Rajagopalachari claims that jati was the most important element in the organization of our society. I don't want to keep on further telling. Gandhi himself says that no, caste is very bad institution. Sorry, the untouchability needs to be removed, but caste should remain. The way does how do we place the anti-caste intellectual tradition in the classroom debate today, in the public debate today? So therefore, that's why I started the question: who is supposed to annihilate caste? The caste is supposed to be annihilated by the Dvija Varnas by adopting multiple kind of practices which long back Ambedkar, when he proposed annihilation of caste towards to the speech which he prepared, which was ultimately not able to deliver due to because the content which was very much problematic to the Jatpat Todak Mandal at that point of time. He himself said that look, it is he proposed that there are many remedies. Caste is what exactly the caste means and how to address this caste problem. He himself has given, he raised the question and he has given the solution to the society. There is nothing new for us to find out to annihilate caste. He has given us answer, very much answer towards to the society. And so therefore, the problem of caste is very serious, dangerous, and does not stand for equality, justice, liberty, rights. Hence, annihilation of caste is solely the project of caste elites. Not Renamol, not Ramchandar, not Aloni, not Isha, or not Sukumar. It is the project of everybody sitting in this room. And therefore, what I say that the cultural nationalists, we get hyper when it comes to the idea of nation, nationalism, culture. The project is to be addressed by these cultural nationalists, self-proclaimed Bhagavans, who valorizes manual scavenging, Karma Yogi. You need to read a book called Karma Yogi, and you will understand that why this valorization of caste by the ruling elites. They might have come from Shudra community, but they are again ruling elites who are perpetuating the caste values, the casteist values. Last 2 points. Can we say that by organizing Samajik Samarasta or whatever the idea of the RSS, Panchaparivartan, one temple, one well, one cremation, why not one nation, one caste? Though I don't subscribe the idea of caste. I don't know, I would really love to hear that. Why bolo, dam hai to? Kahan, kyun dar hai? Kahan se, kyun, why you are scared to say that, okay, हम सब लोग एक ही है? But the question remains still, why is Indian society does not obtain anti-caste laws? There are laws. 2026 UGC regulation and the highest institutions like judiciary, we know how it interprets, as if that Indian society never been divided. भैया बांट के छोड़ दिया आप लोग सालों सालों से, हजारों सालों से. क्या 2026 UGC regulation सिर्फ बांटेगा society को? This is absolutely obnoxious. And what is the need of the hour? As I said, that radical empathy. We don't have the idea of cultivate. We never cultivate the idea of radical empathy. we extend sympathy. I mean, in the report which NCDR, it is the, I don't know, maybe you can go back and look into this 5 years of caste-based atrocities, and this entire data which is available in the website, okay, is the government, the government data. This data compiled and interpreted that analysis of the crimes against scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in India from 2019 to 2023. So the ways to address the caste question, therefore, that's what Ambedkar, ultimately realized that just one kar lijiye, 2 minutes mein khatam karunga. If I am, see, the idea of constitution was the only remedy what Ambedkar strongly felt. He proposed the idea of annihilation of caste. He realized that caste and religion are like two sides of the same coin, until unless if there is a cultural revolution where the religion need to be completely dismantled, then only the caste question can be dismantled. And he realized that there is less time which is left. So therefore, he headed towards to the idea of addressing the caste question, at least that could be that neutralizes the relationship through some kind of legal remedies, institutional framework, constitutional framework, which again has been completely failed. And who failed this? Who is responsible of failing this constitution? So every institution for that matter, even the civil society, within quotes, the civil society, which we are living in an uncivil society. If what Borkar Saab was mentioning, that in every hour, in every day, that atrocities are prevailing on scheduled caste, it is nothing but as it's a collective shame, I call it as. Then lastly, when there were attempts towards see, you have constitution, and the constitution guarantees you at least, to convert into other religion, and other religions also is not scot-free about from the caste person. Other religions, therefore long back Ambedkar said, the caste wherever it migrates, I mean, wherever Hindu people migrate, the caste migrates. Whether it is Europe, whether it is Canada, whether it is US, or whether it is any other religion. So this migration is one of the things where a serious problem where caste moves. So right to religion through conversion, through anti-conversion bills, you are trying to prevent. You want to keep intact. Therefore, the defenders of Varna who defended that time, and now we have defenders of Varna in every institutional mechanism. So therefore, you don't have freedom of faith where you can think that at least I might get liberated. I might, within quotes, if I convert into Christianity or convert into Islam or even convert into Buddhism or wherever it may. So that is also completely blocked. And suppose endogamy. And when people are trying to marry, to break this caste barriers, the model state of the nation, Gujarat, comes with a Registration of Marriage Act 2026. It makes mandatory of the parents' consent. Is there any parent in this room? Probably we are all conscious citizens, that's why. Is there any parents who will give consent if your children goes against your will and get married to other castes? What kind of mechanism that these institutions are building? So to conclude, Ambedkar strongly believed there is nothing new what a Sukumar can say or anybody can say. I don't know. I can claim, I can say from my side that there is nothing new to be proposed to annihilate caste. The radical empathy which Ambedkar was trying to emphasize, the social endorsements, a collective, is there any sense of collectiveness, unity, and that is where what he says that how to, I mean, he gave multiple, solutions towards to the caste question. And it is us who is supposed to take this idea ahead. And in this process, not only the society, civil society, but also the state and its institutions. If not, then there need to be a serious introspection that what should be done from each and every individual's perspective or sense. There could be many contradictions in accepting this, but if there is a way, if there is a will, there is a way. The only thing is that one need to seriously empathize rather than sympathize. Thank you so much, sir, for asking me to be part of it. I haven't presented any data, which I have got much data, but we don't have time. So maybe some of our
Thank
friends
you.
might
Thank you
notice.
very much.
Thank you so much.
It's a very passionate innings which you have opened. Thank you very much. Now